This is E for MarketWizards.com and eMiniWizard.com. Reminding traders, use risk capital you can afford to lose. All right, as expected, we are we're eating the tail of yesterday's range low and challenging that low. And 73 and a quarter was T1 today. And we said anybody that tries long side from 75 to 72, tight stop. Primary target already hit today was at 78. And the expected low, we don't know. But if we take out both sides of yesterday's range, we are now going to pay attention to yesterday's lows. Because back up above that, we are starting to bounce and eat into yesterday's range. And I like make sure paid 75 to 72s. And this is typically how the boys operate. Knockout stops. And this is a great fed up trade. Obviously, news already built into the price. And then this screamer. And then they come back overnight, they reverse it. And I think today we'll also get some late shorts caught too. And that's a Kaiser Soze. To do that, we need to get back up and close the gap area. See, you've got what, 82 and a half gap? All right, so anybody that's played short side, you should have something. If you took a short, should have something in your pocket for now. If you were sidelines and did nothing, that's okay. Trying to learn this business and understand these type of rotations. And I had said after 12 o'clock last night, posted it in the room. I didn't post it then because I was sleeping, but this morning I posted that after 12 o'clock, the market reversed. And this is the reversal bar that I chose. Said this is the one that caught all these traders here. And then we've never come back up above it. And then every subsequent bounce has been lower low and a lower high. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So that's one of the ways you can spot the reversal. Just track the swings. And I'm still thinking small for long side. It's going to take a little bit of time to dig out. If you're a really conservative trader, you want to wait and see an angel form. And without the angel, then obviously much harder because you're just guessing. And there are times we'll guess at ranges, but when we've had a pretty good thumping, you don't want to be the first one to close your eyes and buy. You want a safer buy. You'd rather get 2 points safely than 5 points guessing. At least that's the way I look at it. Okay, here's our monthly look. And you can see that we hit a higher high, and then we've come back. We've undermined the low from overnight. And once we do that, then it triggers all this room down here. So I believe we're possibly headed for this black line, that 68.75 area, 69 area that we talked about as T2 today. Right here, 68.75. That's a potential target. So we're going to use that area as support for now. If we break that, then we know anything goes. But that should be the next potential large target based on overnight and just the laws of proportion. And I'd said we're going to go to the mid 70s probably, and I said, and we're not going to rule out the possibility of coming down and testing the low end. Because this is a reaction to yesterday's news, and this was the head fake up here. And we're still, you can see by this range, we are still just a big move up this month, and this is a contra on the monthly level. And Zeke is probably using some of these ideas back in here when he had posted that for yesterday's support level. So we're shaking out all the aggressive longs right now, and especially trashing those who bought into the idea that it's just up, up, up. Bigger picture, we're still in a big uptrend. So deeper support is better to buy than just the smaller ones. These are normal everyday trades. You can see from this big zone back in here, that 65, 66, that's very important. Paid by 75 to 72, good luck and good fortune below. That's the way I'm looking at this right now. And maybe we get to hit one or two more bounces today. For those of you who were following along on this chart that I said, so let's take a look at our 30. You can see where this potential target has come from. And they don't have to hold the lines exactly, but they're just neighborhoods that give you targets. And we're still way ahead of ourselves from that green line. And typically I'm going to be using a 5 to 15 minute chart, faster ideas, but I want to know this idea too, to give me potential targets coming down this way. So if I morph this back to a 5 right now, you're going to see what we call the umbrella trade. But it's an umbrella trade on the 5-minute chart, but it's not on the 30. And from here, we can get snapbacks. Once we find support, we can get our snapbacks. And this is a pattern that's clear. Excuse me. Once we get under the green and the red and the blue and the pink line, that's the umbrella trade. So it is on the 5, but not on the 30. And when you get your really, really big moves, the 30 and the 5 and the 10 and the 15, they're all going to agree. But the 30 does not agree. Anybody that is trying to buy aggressively today, give it a little bit of time. Don't be the first one. There's still no angel. You'll get a good snap at some point, but you may guess wrong 5 times before you're right once. Let's go take a look at another chart. This is called the umbrella trade, because all of these lines line up. And I'm telling you, when you get a bear market, there's nothing better than finding an umbrella trade, because it goes hard and fast. This is not up here, but this side of it is. Once we broke that, remember I said this is our support breakout, tested support. Immediately we break through it here. It's okay. Coming backwards. Trap some longs. Got a reversal. This is the bar that really tells you that we're coming down. And this is a gigantic head fake last night, but still in the bigger trend, we're up. All right, let's take a look at another chart. Now this is a neckline that broke. From this low to this low to this zone right in here. If we cannot hold this, then that's a neckline break and it opens the door to test, obviously, yesterday's low, which I said certainly looks like we're going to try to test that area. Make sure you're paid 72.75. And then it opens up the door in this predictive model to test this smoke bar up here a couple of days ago. So that's still support until broken. And that can get tested. I'd be surprised if we test it during IB. We've come a long way. And currently we're going to be using 85 as our aggressive resistance. 85 to 87. And it said this was the flip here at 83 and a quarter, according to the model. And give yourself permission to try once or twice in a trade. And if it doesn't work, don't be stubborn. Take your stop out, wait for a different time, a different price. So do we have an angel yet? That's the question. Anybody? And tell me what it is. So this is an angel attempt. And so far, IB has been, every bounce has been met with selling, especially the first one. This first one probably is the most important target, hitting that 72 test, 73, testing yesterday's low. And then the gravy part comes here underneath it. And we're going to keep an eye on time. Got a little more time in IB. And we're going to watch that 5-minute chart, Globex. And once we get too far extended from the rain line, then the tendency will be to snap back, and you've got to go green and red and blue before you even think about getting up there. So my guess is we need to find a consolidation range. And the hardest trades are the ones you really don't like, like at the open. Anything in the 60s today, be wary of it staying there. And the reason for that is because of that monthly chart. All right, 68.75 is T2, and anybody that gets that, congrats. Primary target early was the 78 RTH. Primary target has become the 72s to 75s. Good fortune below for T2, 68.75. And today we can go at any low in that 65.5 target that we talked about. Stone's throw away. We're still in the umbrella trade. Got about 15 minutes left in IB. Still searching for support. And anytime we get to T2, that's an automatic in your mind. Make sure I am paid. So typically, if we get this square that we're looking for, this rectangle right in here, that's to make sure you get paid. Positively, absolutely. Sometimes you're going to take a trade off and it's just going to keep running. You're going to say, God, why did I do that? But that's just part of the game. Nobody knows. We're making educated guesses. First thought, let's try to get to 75, 72s. If we could break the 78 area, and then we come down and we're looking in that 72 to 75, and then next at 68.75. This is your umbrella trade shake out, shake out, shake out. And then you got to be careful getting caught. And then what we're going to do today, look for one more bounce to hit. And sometimes we'll short it and try to short it too low once the bounce starts. You take your stop out and then get one more whack at it. And anybody's had a good run and got your 4 or 5 points already, lock it, and you don't have to do anything. And these type of runs are possible, especially after a news day. And it's very hard to pick up that the market's reversed. But today it was, they tipped their hand a little bit early when some of us were getting to our desks. And you don't fight it. You take your stop out if you're trying to buy, and you say, well, you know what? These guys have reversed. And you just go with the flow. So sometimes it's easy, sometimes very hard to pick that up because it was a Fed news day, FOMC Fed up, and I tend to look for these type of trades. The knee-jerk reaction is almost always up. Just fools everybody. We're still going up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they come back and whack everybody. It's just the way they play. We should not have broken this 87 area. And once we shouldn't have broken 92s, 91s. Last night I said that's our first key. Keep an eye on 92. If we break 92, then the door is opened up to come backwards. Because if they want to stall the pullback and keep jamming higher, they're going to protect 92, 91 and keep squeezing. They didn't. So that's what I call the hound of the Baskervilles. You know, how come the dog wasn't barking? Must have been somebody the dog knew. So these guys, by coming back in, that kind of confirmed to me. And then when we took out 82s, okay, we're testing for support. Yesterday's lows, and then obviously the prior day's lows become available. Hardest thing in the world to do is understand the trend and then go with that trend and then accept your stop out if you're trailing, or get to wherever you want and say, fine, I don't care if it goes 10 more points. I'm taking my profits and I'm happy with it. There's nothing wrong with that approach. Everybody says, let your winners run. You know what? Over time, letting your winners run isn't as easy as it sounds. I want to be the Cal Ripken of trading. You know, I want to be durable. I want to be able to scratch out singles and doubles every day. Keeps my confidence. That's why. Short side, time and price. Be careful now, expecting a whole lot more. When we get a bounce, usually we'll get a first bounce, got to get stalled by the red line. If not, the blue line is next in play. And usually we give IB for finding support. If we've had a reversal, the normal trade is to go for the half gap. That works 70-80% of the time. But today we caught all the half gappers napping. Still doesn't mean you can't get it, but all the aggressive longs have been taken to the cleaners.